A Honeymoon to Remember is a Real One film from 2021. This is directed by Danny J. Boyle. It's written by Mark Valenti. And we have a cast including Rebecca Dalton, Edward Ruttle, and Spencer Lord. The narrative is okay. I don't mind it. But our protagonist is one of the most irritating characters ever. At the beginning of the film, she thinks her boyfriend is going to propose to her, and to be fair, she was correct. But she was so certain of this that she arranged for somebody to pop up and video record the proposal. She had planned for somebody to record and capture this perfect moment, and it was very clear when her boyfriend proposed and then he saw this camera and he was completely baffled and a little bit flustered by what was happening. And I just thought, this is not acceptable and it's not a way to behave, and your priorities are clearly not right. And from that point on, bearing in mind this was one of the opening scenes, I think the second scene, I really disliked her and I could not care if anything good happened to her. It didn't. In the next scene, or I think the scene after, her fiancé said he couldn't go through with the wedding. And that's that. Well, she then goes on her honeymoon with her sister at her sister's suggestion, and the rest of the film is about honeymoon activities. Well, honeymoon destination activities. And Ava also meets somebody who could potentially be a romantic interest, and then things get a little bit complicated. And on the one hand, it's a well-written narrative. There's a lot going on, but it's not too busy. But in terms of personal preference, I didn't really like what happened. But that is personal preference. It's not a problem with the narrative. But for me, I just didn't love the direction it took. But for the most part, the bulk of the narrative is interesting. We have a really nice location. This is filmed in Kelowna, British Columbia, and I think that's it. But if anybody knows if there are any other locations, please feel free to share that information. And the performances are good. It's just a shame that Ava is a very, very unlikable character. In fact, I feel like most of the characters are kind of either unlikable or just a little bit dull. So A Honeymoon to Remember could have been a good film if Ava wasn't exceptionally annoying, and I didn't care for her at all. But as I said, the performance is absolutely fine. The location is gorgeous. The actual events within the film, I'd say from starting the destination honeymoon, or the honeymoon destination, to maybe the last 15 minutes I enjoyed, but the beginning and the end I didn't care for. So it's not a great film. It's definitely a watchable film. If you're a Real One films in general, give it a go. Just bear in mind there's a good chance Ava is going to really, really annoy you, but if you can overlook that, then I guess it's not too bad.